when we finished Flower, we were thinking about what kind of game do we want to make for the next game.
Yeah, I've been speaking about Fable 3. You know, it's the third outing of the Fable franchise. And I just said to everybody in the audience, look, we want to make a very big, bold step.
At Thatgamecompany, we have a very unique approach of developing games. So when we start a game, we were thinking about what kind of experience the player to have. You know, what kind of emotion do we want the player to feel?
You know, Lionhead's all about innovation. It's all about, you know, questioning the foundation stones of what you think of as being, you know, cast in stone, and we need to question some of those. We need to come up with a dramatic story that no one has ever played before.
So for Flow and Flower, we have very specific feelings we want to tackle on, but we don't like to settle on one feeling, you know, just being the peaceful Zen kind of company. And we always want to try to push the envelope of the emotions that video game can communicate.
We need to come up with game mechanics that no one's ever touched before, because if we don't, then it'll just be another Fable. And that's not what Lionhead does. It doesn't do, you know, it doesn't make small steps, it makes big steps.
So Journey is kind of my reaction to what I see every day.
You know, I think the interesting thing is that if when you play a game or read a book or watch a film, it speaks to you about the world today.
And especially in the game market, you know, like right now we're living in a world where, you know, we are powered by a lot of technologies.
And in today, you know, in the real world, it's actually all about that power.
Right, every day I'm using my phone, using my, you know, glasses, watching. All my work is done on technology, and a lot of time I've felt myself like a god, you know.
Because that, you know, that feeling of power just fascinates me.
I can travel at 60 miles per hour. I can, you know, fly to the other side of Earth. I can talk to anyone anywhere on Earth. I have the access to Wikipedia, which is all knowledge human had.
I want you to feel powerful. It's all about feeling power.
It's just very, very empowering. But then at the same time, I felt my life is also overwhelmed by the power. You know, every day I'm thinking about gaining more power and executing them. You know, I start to forget the last time I felt the sense of small.
And bizarrely, we were really inspired by some things that we've seen in other games. One of those games was called Ico. Now, Ico was one of the most charming games I've ever seen, and they had this really lovely mechanic where you could reach out to the girl and lead her by the hand. I loved that. Bizarrely, that is about power.
There was one day I met an astronaut who has driven a space shuttle to the moon 3 times, and he was telling me a story about these mission specialists who actually step on the moon. They all become very spiritual or religious, or start working for humanitarian missions. But that inspired me. That, you know, I realized the reason they probably become spiritual is because when they were standing on the moon and looking at the Earth, that's everything you know about, everything history has documented about, everything you care about. But it's just a marble in the air, and then there's the rest of it, which is the universe, and you just can't stop thinking how small you are and how many things you don't know about, and you just have this sense of awe towards these unknown.
Yeah, I mean, Fable 3, it's all about power, man. I mean, you know, that is the thing that I think we realised, is that when you come to something like Fable, we want to surprise people, absolutely, and that's the one word. We want you to feel powerful.
And I just felt, you know, as an entertainer, as a game maker, you know, while most of the games are about empowerment, it would be kind of healthy to provide players with a gaming experience where they feel small and they feel a sense of wonder towards the world they are in.
How can I make you feel powerful in combat? Well, we can do like dual wielding, so you can use your sword and your gun at the same time. Develop the magic system, we can give you more spells, but that's not really what I want. Is the power, and the real power from combat comes in this amazing ability for you to craft weapons. How do you craft weapons? You craft weapons by using weapons. The more you use a weapon, the more it changes and becomes unique, and weapons go up levels and unlock new abilities.
And I felt it will be very, very different for an online gaming experience where both players feel small, and when they meet to each other in an online game, when they don't have any gun or swords in their hand, the experience will be very, very different. You know, like I think it might be able to change the expectation you have towards a stranger online. In the original attempt to make this game about sense of awe and wonder, I mean, there's just no way you can avoid the works from Joseph Campbell, right? He studied all these mystical stories in the past and find this common structure of a hero's journey, of all the stories' journey. And what I find interesting is that there's a surprising overlap between a 3-act structure in a Hollywood movie with the hero's journey. They're almost aligned.
How can I write a story that makes you feel powerful? Well, most stories are the same, whether they're books or films or TV or computer games, and certainly that was true of Fable. They're about the hero's journey. You know, it's the you start off as a weak character, and then there's some big baddie, and then you power yourself up for the ultimate final fight. You defeat the big baddie, credits roll. Well, why is it like that? Why do you take my moment of victory away and roll the credits?
I think hero's journey is really about a common life journey of any individuals, you know, a transformation of any individual. A man's birth till his death, you know, it's very much like a hero's journey. So I find it fascinating, and this game is called Journey. It's certainly inspired by the hero's journey structure. But what's interesting is nobody has ever tried to put two people who are both on their own hero's journey together and see what's going to happen.
Still a system which kind of exists, and you know, the whole of our civilization is built upon what Fable is talking about. It's built upon leaders and people with vision, taking us as the people and the populace into places that we either want to go or don't want to go. And I want people in Fable 3 to feel that, and to feel that sense of power, and to feel that sense of relevance.
I think in the end, this will be a very unique experience you've never seen before.